Okay, so Module 10 is on project management fundamentals, right? And we're going to look at what are those things to drive, what are those things we need to know or do to drive projects in a structured way, right? So we'll start by defining what a project is, and then we'll take it up from there to cover all the fundamentals here. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, so we start with project management foundation, right? So we cover the definition of what project management is, the process groups. So we have different groups of processes within, standard project management procedure as defined by, the body of knowledge of project managers, globally, right? And then we have what is called knowledge areas and project life cycles. So we're going to look at each of these, and you might be wondering, how does all of this go into running a project? Guys have been running projects for the longest time, right? And they've come up with a framework to be able to clearly define, the different components of the budget, what are required, what is things like quality, costs, stakeholders, communication. How does all of that fit into, running a complete project, right? And then we have different life cycles, and we're going to look at all of that, right? From how a project will progress naturally from one phase to the other, depending on what life cycle is being used, and all of that. And then we look at some important project management principles. And I'm putting it here in the course because I believe that as you execute projects and gain experience, these are the ethics and ethos and principles that you want to abide by to successfully deliver projects, that that meets the highest standards, right? The highest standards, not just in your local environment, but globally, right? So I thought it would be important to reiterate many of these principles again and to always have them, at the front burner, in all that you're going to do. We're also going to look at agile mindsets. How are we able to execute projects in such a way that we're adaptable, we're resilient, we're in the face of challenges, in the face of what is called VUCA. And I'll explain some of this here, right? In the face of volatility, uncertainty, you know, chaos, complexity, ambiguity, in the face of all of that, how are you able to run your project in a way that it still delivers value, regardless of all, factors, external and internal, around you? So there are four values we look at, 12 principles, and numerous practices, and then we're going to go in depth into one of the most common agile practice, which is Scrum, right? So we'll talk about the Scrum essentials and what is required here. So that's basically what we're going to look at in project management. What do we have in Module 11?